to you all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj's daily class. Today we are continuing with our Srimad Bhagavatam, study of third canto, chapter 4, verse number 13. I'll share my screen. Hare Krishna Maharaj, my humble obeisances to you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
I hope glories to Srila Prabhupada, my obeisances.
The chapter is entitled Vidura Approaches Maitreya, and we are on the verse number 13.
Just give me a minute. Something came up and I just have to tend to it.
Yes, Maharaj.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Puramaya Praktama Jnanabhyam Pamesasanaya Mamadi Sargam Janam Paramam Mahimavabasam Yatsurayo Bhagavatam Vadanti. O Uddhava, in the lotus millennium of the days of yore, the beginning of creation, I spoke unto Brahma, who is situated on the lotus that grows out of my navel, about my transcendental glories, which the great sages describe as Srimad Bhagavatam. The explanation of the Supreme Self as given by Brahma, and already explained in the second canto of this great literature, is further clarified herein. The Lord said that the concise form of Srimad Bhagavatam, as explained to Brahma, was meant to elucidate his personality. The impersonal explanation of those 4 verses in the second canto is nullified herewith. Srimad Swami also explains in this connection that the same concise form of the Bhagavatam concerned the pastimes of Lord Krishna and was never meant for impersonal indulgence. Umigan Timirandasya Ganajana Salakaya Chaksu Unmilitam Nena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimakte Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvase Sasunyavari Pastyatya De Satarine Vancha Kalpatarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the speaker of the Srimad Bhagavatam ultimately is Krishna himself. Tene Brahmahidari Kamaye. He imparted that same knowledge into the heart of Brahma, who gave that knowledge to Narada, and Narada gave it to Vyasa, and Vyasa put it in form of literary material, reading material. The essence of Bhagavatam is 4 verses that's mentioned here in the second canto. And the Lord speaks directly these 4 verses. So it is impossible to say that the Lord is impersonal when these 4 verses were spoken directly by him to Lord Brahma. When a person speaks, when his speech is there, it indicates a person, not some undefined energy. There's a person there. And of course, who can speak true, pure spiritual truths except the Supreme Lord, who was the author of those same truths? Oh, these 4 verses are very important. I think this is the second time since we left that area with the 4 verses that the 4 verses have again come up in the form of discussions in the purports. How important they are. They're called nutshell. Nutshell means you take it and then you expand it more and more and more. And that is Bhagavatam. There's only 4 verses, but then it expands itself into 18,000. But that 18,000 verses is just relegated to this particular earthly realm. Beyond that earthly realm, there is the higher planets where knowledge, greater knowledge is available also. So the Bhagavatam expands into 1 billion verses in the higher planets. That's explained by Jiva Goswami in his Tat Sandarbha. How the Bhagavatam, what we have is just an abridged version of the same thing, only 18,000 verses. But Prabhupada would even give a broader definition of Bhagavatam by explaining that wherever there's glorification of the Supreme Lord, wherever there's glorification of the Supreme Lord's pure devotee, that is Bhagavatam. So it can extend itself out to other areas of great souls who may not be connected with the Gaudiya tradition, but are pure devotees of the Lord from other traditions also. Their lives is also considered to be Bhagavatam. Prabhupada made that point in one discussion. So these 4 verses are the essence. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, in the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, there are 4 verses which are also the essence of the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna explains that he is the source of everything material and spiritual. Those who take pleasure in glorifying his activities are great souls. He inspires pure love of devotion within the heart of his devotee, who worships him with devotion, and he makes all knowledge available in the heart by one who engages in devotional service. So again, it's about a person. Okay, so we can go on to the next verse, verse 14. Iti yadrotaka paramasya pumsam patikshana nugraha bhajanoham snehota roma sadlita ksharastam muncha chucha pranjalir ababase. Uddhava said, O Vidura, when I was thus favored at every moment by the Supreme Personality of Godhead and addressed him with great affection, my words failed in tears, and the hairs of my body erupted. After smearing my tears, I with folded hands spoke like this. Ko yishate padachajaram bhajam sudolavarteshu chatur swapiha tatapi naham pravrinomi bhumam bhavat padam bhoja niseva no sukha. No sukha. O my Lord, devotees who engage in the transcendental loving service of your lotus feet have no difficulty in achieving anything within the realms of the four principles of religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. But, O Great One, as far as I'm concerned, I have preferred only to engage in the loving service of your lotus feet. Those who are associated with the Lord in the Vaikuntha planets achieve all bodily features of the Lord and appear to be the same as Lord Vishnu. Such liberation is called Sarupa Mukti, which is one of the 5 kinds of liberation. Devotees engaged in transcendental loving service of the Lord never accept the Sahuja Mukti, or merging into the rays of the Lord, called the Brahma Jyoti. Devotees can achieve not only liberation, but any success in the realm of religiosity, economic development, or sense grabbing, up to the standard of the demigods in the heavenly planets. But such a pure devotee as Uddha refuses to accept all such facilities. A pure devotee wants simply to engage in the service of the Lord and does not consider his own personal benefit. So here's the consciousness of a pure devotee. They only want to engage in devotional service. They may need something on the material world, on the material level, but they know they don't have to worry about trying to pursue that. If Krishna gives it to them, fine. If he doesn't give it to them, they're happy simply engaging in devotional service. But for those who fully engage in devotional service and still want material desires fulfilled, Krishna will do that, knowing that the devotee is fixed in pure devotional service, so he will facilitate some needs on the material level, just like sometimes people want to get married, so they don't know how to proceed, or whatever procedure they have done in the past hasn't really manifested in anything practical. So they think, oh, let me just serve the Lord, and if he sends someone to me, then I can accept it in that way. So devotees are always happy simply by serving the Lord and never thinking about what they need for themselves. And they know that if the Lord wants, he can give them the whole world. And if the Lord doesn't want, he can also give them nothing. But in any case, they don't worry about what they have or don't have. They simply engage in devotional service. Sometimes they want something in relationship to their service, but then they think, why should I ask the Lord for anything other than the service itself? But the Lord will see, oh, they want to serve me and they need this for their service. All right. Well, the Lord will facilitate that and allow that to happen. And it will be done by some other person, and that devotee will think, oh, thank you very much. This is what I needed. But it's actually Krishna inspiring that person to assist his devotee in one way or another. Krishna is the principle behind all activities, both direct and indirect. Direct we can somehow understand, but indirect, it happens by his will through his different energies. And so devotees are happy, and it says here, they can accept this Sahuja Mukti, Sarupya Mukti. One of them is getting the same form as the Lord, but they never aspire for that. And they're simply happy in devotional service. But if they have an opportunity to get liberation into the Brahma Jyoti, they considered that worse than hell. That's explained by Prabodhananda Saraswati in one of his prayers. That liberation is like is like hell. He uses the word hell directly compared to the process of devotional service. And he calls, the happiness that one can achieve in the higher planets. I was just listening to Srila Prabhupada this morning, and he's saying the demigods, they are much more uh, endowed with so many greater qualities than we have. Their strength is way beyond ours. Their intelligence, their uh, their material opulences are unbelievable in terms of a comparison to what we have on this planet. But still, uh, they don't get the full mercy of the Lord because they're not pure devotees. Although they are devotees of the Lord, they still have some desire for something material. And therefore, the devotees who engage fully in devotional service, although they may not be on the same level as the demigods, as Prabhupada said when he was explained, demigod means almost God, because the word God is there, demigod, almost God. Still, the devotees are happy simply in serving the Lord, and if they can please the Lord by their service, they become very happy, and then they consider that the success in their life, that the Lord is pleased by their devotional service. I was reading in Krishna's pastimes how the Manjaris are always working to bring Radharani to Krishna, knowing that Radharani wants to be with Krishna, and Krishna wants to be with Radharani. So in their service, sometimes they come in contact with Krishna and trying to bring Radharani to Krishna, or doing something that Radharani does to serve Krishna and bringing Radha, just like when Radharani cooks for Krishna. She sends it with her manjaris to bring it to Yasoda and Rohini, and they take it and then they, along with the manjaris, they serve Krishna in his meal, both in the morning and the evening, and Krishna's there at the table with all of his father, his father's brothers, in other words, the cowherd men. Balaram's there, everyone is there, and Krishna's eating. And the manjaris, the Radharani wants to know whether Krishna really likes what he makes, what she makes. She wants to know his reactions when he's eating what she makes. So he tells the manjaris, make sure you serve and watch, see how Krishna likes it, see what his reactions. So they do that. They don't want to serve Krishna directly, but because Radharani tells them that they should do that so they can report back to Radharani about how Krishna likes what she serves, they do that. And then when Krishna sometimes invites the manjaris to enjoy with him, they immediately turn away and say, they become negative. Although they love Krishna very much, still their service is more important than their happiness in being with Krishna. Therefore, even if they're with Krishna, they're always thinking how to serve Radharani by bringing Radharani to Krishna, or doing something that Radharani does for Krishna and bringing that to Krishna to give Krishna pleasure. And so this is how the manjaris think. They always think, all I want is the pleasure of my master, Srimati Radharani. They don't think of anything else. And whatever I have to do, and if she's pleased with me, my life is not only perfect, I achieve the perfection of everything that I live for. If she's simply pleased with, and if she's not pleased with me, it is worse than death. So that's how they think. And because they're great souls, and even though they love Krishna and they're attracted to Krishna, they will not step into Radharani's position and try to enjoy Krishna. They will simply arrange for Radharani and Krishna to meet. So that's called Manjari Bhav. Now these are the Manjaris. They're the Rati Manjari and Rupa Manjari and Kasturi Manjari and many of the Manjaris who are just young girls. They're younger. They're like early teenage girls, and they just want to serve Radharani. They're pure. They have achieved perfection. Many of them were great sages in their life and the material world, and they obtain perfection by becoming the Manjaris to serve Radharani personally. But their only happiness is Radharani's happiness. They don't seek any personal happiness at all. So here we see that also here, but a pure devotee simply wants to engage in the service of the Lord and does not consider his own personal benefit because they know that there's nothing higher, nothing more greater, nothing more satisfying than serving the Lord and pleasing the Lord by such service. And that's the perfection of their existence. Mhm. This is nicely explained here. And if Krishna gives them something, fine. But Krishna doesn't give anything. Still, that doesn't affect their service. They continue to inspire in their devotional service. I'm speaking now about us on this level, devotees who are practicing in Krishna consciousness. They're happy just simply to serve like that. Because the goal is to please Krishna. And if Krishna is pleased, what more can a devotee ask? And if Krishna is pleased, and because Krishna is not an ungrateful master, he wants to serve his devotees also. So he sees what the devotee wants, the devotee, even if the devotee doesn't express it, or the devotee might need something and doesn't express it, Krishna will arrange for that person to get it, just to show his favor to that devotee who pleased him in devotional service. That's Krishna. He's the most grateful of all lords. Even though he's God himself, and everyone serves him, still when people serve him, he feels that he becomes indebted to those who serve him, and he wants to serve them also. That's Krishna. When it came to the gopis, at one point he said, "Na parayam, I can't I can't reciprocate the quality of the love that you give me. It's not possible. So all I can say is you be satisfied with your own love, which is pure." And so Krishna also even says that I can't pay back what my devotees give me because they give me more than I can give them. That's Krishna. He's not only great, he's very humble also. Okay, so
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj, for explaining nicely about these verses. Thank you so much. Dear devotees, please turn on your cameras whenever possible and raise your hands if you have any questions or comments, or you can type in the chat also. Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, very much. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Very much. You were talking very beautifully about the service of the Manjaris. And I was thinking, that's an incredibly elevated position. And is it even possible for contaminated neophytes like us to ever reach that kind of stage?
well, Srila Prabhupada said devotees in ISKCON are not in Gopi Bhav. We're in Manjari Bhav, he said. He said the duties of the Manjaris is to give pleasure to Krishna by arranging for Krishna to receive, in our case, bringing other souls to Krishna gives Krishna great pleasure. That's the mood of a devotee. The devotee thinks, let me preach or let me somehow reach out to the conditioned souls, knowing this pleases Krishna very much. Because Krishna wants to reciprocate with every living entity who is his part and parcel. So one who fulfills Krishna's desire by bringing another soul to his lotus feet, Krishna becomes very, very happy with that devotee. So therefore, sometimes we say the process of preaching is in the mood of the gopis or the mood of the manjaris. The mood of the manjaris, bringing others to serve Krishna. So you can follow in their footsteps by doing it on this level through bringing other souls to the lotus feet of the Lord. And that is the
So,
same Manjari Bhav.
so if we do a lot of preaching and a lot of book distribution, does that mean we may get the chance of becoming a manjari?
um, the chances of becoming a particular uh, within a particular rasa is always there, but that there's a lot of other things that depend on that. But that mood is there. That's the mood of a devotee. The devotee becomes happy simply by doing something that will please Krishna. Because when you please Krishna, you're automatically pleased. It's just connect because we're always connected with Krishna. And therefore, because we're connected with Krishna, when he's pleased, we also feel satisfied.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Silpesh Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, in the text it mentions that there are 5 kinds of liberation. Could you expand on this, please?
You mean mention them?
Yeah, and just explain a little bit about the differences.
Well, there's Sharsti, Samipya, Sayuja, Salokya, and what's one more? Sarupa. Sarupa, Salokya, Samipa, Sarshti, and Samipa, Sarlokya. Salokya means to take birth on the same planet where Krishna is having his pastimes. Samipya means to have the personal association in Krishna somewhere in the material world. Sarshti means to have the same opulence as Krishna. Sarupya means to have the same form as Krishna. But these are the 4 that are within the realm of desirable for the devotee. Then Sahuja is not desirable. That's to merge into the Brahman effulgence of the Lord. That's
So,
explained in this third canto, a little later on in the third canto, there's a whole series of verses that go into these liberations.
so what decides which, if we do become liberated, what decides which type of liberation we would get? Or who decides?
I guess it depends on the nature of your desire. If you're attracted to Krishna in a particular way, that would indicate that would help to indicate your destination also. If you're attracted to Krishna because of his opulence, you might get Sharsti. You attract Krishna because of his beauty, you might get Sarupya. You're attracted to Krishna to be with him, you might get Samipya or Salokya. It depends on your desire, usually. And ultimately, it's up to Krishna how he manifests his mercy.
And are these types of liberation connected to like the 5 relationships we have with Krishna?
Not necessarily, no. Even demons get sahuja or mukti. And there's one demon that got sarupya mukti. That was Agasura. He got sarupya mukti, which is really, really, only devotees get sarupya mukti. When he came to Vrindavan to kill Krishna, all the cowherd boys, he was in the form of this gigantic snake. And he opened his mouth wide. And the boys saw, oh, it looks like a cave. Let's go inside. Another boy said, no, it's a demon. And then they were going back and forth. And then the boy said, don't worry, even if it's a demon, Krishna will save us. So they ran into his mouth. But he kept his mouth open because he was waiting for Krishna to come in. When Krishna saw what was happening, he was a distance away. He became alarmed, so he came in and he ran into the mouth of Agasura, and Agasura closed his mouth at that time. And Krishna expanded himself completely and burst out through the top of the hole in his head, and he died. But when he was dying, he saw that form of the Lord at the last moment before he left his body. And because he saw the form of the Lord, he got Sarupya Mukti. Krishna is merciful even to the demons.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hope that helps, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Daria Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Shrimati. Hare Krishna, my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. So in the purport, Prabhupada was mentioning that in Vaikuntha planet, those who associate with the Lord, they get similar body features. I was wondering if it's meaning that everybody is looking similar to Krishna, like bluish, and what is happening to our spiritual form when we descend into this material world? Do we still keep the spiritual form, or is that also changed?
Yeah, your spiritual form is fixed, yeah. But you can also achieve a liberation according to, a particular desire, and you want to have that. If you desire, then you have to qualify yourself to fulfill that desire. So, there was one point you made, I'm trying to think of what it was. You're saying, I see what you're saying, that our form is fixed, but then again, we can get another form. Yeah, you can also get another form. But again, it's not always, in other words, the soul is not limited. That's the point. And the form of soul can also change forms also too. But the devotee will think, how best can I serve Krishna? So let me have that form that is best for me to serve Krishna. The devotee always thinks of the pleasure of Krishna rather than thinking about what they're going to be. They're not out there for themselves. They're just thinking of Krishna. So in other words, what pleases Krishna the most is what is the focus of a devotee.
And in this material world, what form does the soul have?
And it's different. You mean you can't see your form now, it's covered by the material form. There are some that are in Madhurya Ras, some in Vatsalya Ras, some in Sakya Ras, some in the Vaikuntha realms. We don't know. That comes when you get to spontaneous devotional service, then you can start to awaken the awareness of your spiritual form. It comes on the higher levels when one reaches Raganuga Bhakti, even the higher stages of Raganuga Bhakti.
Hope that helps, Mataji. You have any further clarification?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Sridevi Mataji, please go ahead. Maharaj, sorry, Mataji, 1 second. Guru Maharaj, can you please adjust your screen a little bit to see you fully? Thank you. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank
Sridevi.
you, Shruti. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, as you were speaking about Manjari Bhav, Gopi Bhav, our mood, etc., I was just wondering, what if one has Gopa Bhav? What if one is attracted to Krishna as a Gopa and wants to be with Krishna only as a Gopa? There's no Radharani, there's no Manjaris, there's no Gopis, there's just me and Krishna.
What's that, Gopa, you said?
Yeah, Gopa. Gopa means cowherd boy.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sakaras.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the cowherd boys are there with Krishna and the gopis too. The cowherd boys assist Krishna in many of his pastimes. And they also play with Krishna. They also see the gopis. There's some cowherd boys that interact with the gopis to make arrangements for Radharani to meet Krishna. That's special cowherd boys. They're the higher level of the cowherd boys. They have intimate service. Yeah. But they have their service. They associate with Krishna. They take lunch with Krishna. They play with Krishna. They fight with Krishna. They herd cows. That's their main thing. They herd cows with Krishna.
So if one is attracted like that to Krishna, would that be considered less than Gopi Bhav?
Sugar is always sweet, but there's intensification of sweetness.
Hmm. Oh, I love this one. Krishna's monkeys.
But yeah, but the cowherd boys are more fortunate than the gopis because they get more of Krishna's association than the gopis throughout the day. But to aspire like that, then you have to follow Raganuga sadhana and focus your consciousness on one particular cowherd boy who is an eternal associate of Krishna. Pray to them, glorify them, and try to emulate some of the characteristics that they perform, although you cannot come to the same level. In other words, learn from them. And that's part of Raganuga sadhana.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for clarifying that so much. My obeisances.
Okay, Krishna. Thank you,
I'm not
Mataji.
going to ask you any
Because
questions.
somehow I just don't have this mood of Radha and Krishna. It's Lord Chaitanya, and then after that it's just Krishna. I rarely think of Radharani, Manjaris, Gopis like that. Now I don't know whether that's because I'm at such a low level, so maybe that's why it is like that. And maybe as one advances, one understands these things better. Maybe that could be one of the reasons.
Yeah, maybe you're just one of the rocks in Vrindavan. This is to get that job is pretty good. Or maybe you're a bird. You're in neutral ras in Vrindavan. There's neutral rasas in Vrindavan too. That's been brought out by the acharyas. The birds, the trees, the rivers, the animals, the rocks, the land, they're all serving Krishna in neutral ras.
Thank you. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you, Mataji. Nice question. Thank you.
So, do you want to be a very valuable rock or just an ordinary rock?
Any rock will be fine, Guru Maharaj, as long as I can have Krishna's lotus feet on my head running all over me as a rock. That's great too.
Okay, we'll put in a good word for you.
Jai. Thank you.
It's possible to aspire, like this is the process of bhakti, to come to the platform of loving Krishna in one of the 5 rasas. This is the goal. If you don't make it there, you haven't made it. But the process there, you have to go through the different stages and come to the platform of developing fixed attraction on Krishna. You keep your mind focused on Krishna throughout the day.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Prachi Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, you put it such beautifully when you were giving the purports to the verses that wherever there is glorification of Lord and Lord's devotees, wherever there's Bhagavatam, there is glorification of Lord and Lord's devotees. And wherever there's glorification of Lord and Lord's devotee, Krishna is there. And then you also highlighted the fact that even those devotees in India who are not part of like ISKCON, but who are deeply who worship Krishna are also considered as Vaishnavas. Maharaj, how do we reconcile some of the differences in thinking that different groups have within India?
Different groups? You're talking about what groups are you referring to?
Like Vallabha Sampradaya, where Lord is worshipped as but they are also pure devotees of Krishna, right?
Yeah, they worship Balakrishna.
Yeah.
No, that's all right. I mean, there's different sampradayas. 4 sampradayas, Vallabhacharya is also considered to be bona fide. Sri Sampradaya, Ramanuja Sampradaya, well, that's the Sri Sampradaya. The Rudra Sampradaya, the 4 Kumaras, their Sampradaya. These are all Vaishnavas. So yeah, the process, their sadhana may be different than ours, but many times the goal is the same. Some focus on Sitaram as the goal, others Lakshmi Narayan, others Radha and Krishna.
Mhm.
We don't have any difficulties, but we have to follow our sampradaya. We can't mix our sadhana with their sadhana. We have to follow one particular Sampradaya.
Mhm.
Sampradaya Hina Mantra, I can't remember the words. Sampradaya. One must follow the Sampradaya.
Mhm. Maharaj, as a follow-up question, I have another question on liberation. When you were talking about different types of liberations, um, what kind of liberation Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruv Maharaj got? Um, they were the pure devotees of Lord, right?
Prahlad Maharaj, all he wanted to do was preach to the conditioned souls. Dhruva Maharaj attained perfection, went back to the spiritual world, got his own planet, and became an associate of Krishna on the same planet. And so they're all great souls. They got different levels. We don't know Prahlad's inner mood. We know he worshipped Krishna. He didn't worship Nrsingadev. Nrsingadev appeared to him because of the benediction given by Lord Brahma, and to spite those benedictions and still killed the demon, the Lord came as Lord Nrsingadev. But Prahlad was worshiping Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Do devotees any more questions? Maharaj, I have a question. On the practical level, Gauripriya Mataji, please go ahead. I'll ask later.
You can ask Mataji. I will go after.
Okay. So, thank you, Mataji. So, Maharaj, on a practical level, we know the goal of pure devotion, but still we are in the Karma Mishra Bhakti stage, where we are also fulfilling our material duties and desires and all. So what it takes, or what is needed to get a big push towards the pure devotional service? Because I see that years pass and we always struggle in doing our sadhana perfectly, and not coming onto the stage of pure devotional service as as quickly as possible. But what kind of push a devotee needs in that stage to come up to the pure devotional service? Maharaj, I just want to ask. Krishna.
Oh yeah. What was your question?
I'm asking about the Karma Mishra Bhakta coming up to the stage of pure devotional service. So, what type of push or what type of the change is needed to come up to that particular stage? Because if we don't get that type of push or some association or all like that, so we'll be still in that same platform and years pass by like that only, Maharaj. That's what I feel in a practical level.
Well, the process is there. If they follow the process, they make advancement. Karma Mishra Bhakti is mixed bhakti. We can move away from mixed bhakti, either Jnana Mishra Bhakti or Karma Mishra Bhakti, simply by following the process of pure devotional service. If they follow, they can make progress out of that lower mode into a higher level of bhakti. It's there for everybody, no matter what your situation is. Follow the process. Chant the holy names, follow the four regulative principles, associate and serve with devotees, worship the Lord in his deity form, and do some practical service. Everything is there. Read the books.
Okay, Maharaj. Yeah, got it.
Well, it's not different than anybody else. It's anyone who's stuck, and this process works the same way.
Mm. Yeah. Thank you, Maharaj. Gauripriya Mataji, you want to go ahead?
I actually had almost same question, so in a way I got the answer.
Okay. The devotees, any more questions?
Okay, maybe we can stop here.
Yes, Maharaj, yeah.
Okay. Today I'm a little bit behind on everything, so thank you very much for being here. And tomorrow is Thursday, and we'll go to
Yes, Maharaj. I would just want to quickly announce the class. Tomorrow's class is with Bhakti Sangha Japa group, and the verse number is 8th canto, 24th chapter, verse number 49, 824 49. And tomorrow time is little different again. And thank you so much, dear devotees, for being patient with me. Like I keep on changing the timings, but it's so its time is 12:20 p.m. UK time, Maharaj. For you, it will be 1:20 p.m. So
mine is 12:20, right?
yeah, UK time is 12:20,
So what is mine?
1:20.
Well, that's a big jump from
Yeah.
from 12:30 to 1:20. That's almost an hour later.
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah.
Mm.
Because
So
they
is
do, because they start their class 7:20 a.m. Eastern time. So that's the main change.
7:20 at 6 hours is, yeah, it's actually 1:20. That becomes a problem.
it will be 4:50 in India?
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Which chapter?
8th canto, 24th chapter, verse number 49.
24th chapter. Let me check this out here. Don't go anywhere. Eighth canto, 24th chapter. That's the last chapter.
Yes, Maharaj. Almost at we're at the end of
It
page.
is the last chapter from 24th. It's about Matsya, the
Yeah,
fish.
Matsya incarnation.
What's the verse?
49.
Wow, they're really moving fast, aren't they?
Yes, Maharaj.
They must be skipping all ahead. 49?
Yeah.
Okay. 8:24:49. Starts at 1:20, huh? Okay. What are we going to do when I go to London?
London, it is 12:20 p.m. UK time, Maharaj.
No, I mean on a regular day. London is 12 o'clock every day then.
Yeah, just 20 minutes later, the class starts, Maharaj.
No, I'm talking about when I go to London. Then I do class at 12 o'clock London time, right?
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah.
Not 11:30.
No, Guru Maharaj.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Maharaj, Sukhava Mataji is asking, like, today is appearance day of Sri Ramanujacharya. Please, can you speak something about this great Acharya?
Oh, you're going to get me started on Ramanuja. I can speak all day. The guy is Ramanujacharya. Ah, he's a manifestation of Lakshman. Lakshmana appears again as Ramanuja. The younger brother of Ramanuja, Lakshman. Anuja means the younger brother of Ramu, which is Lakshman. So he appeared, yeah, he's, I can tell you a pastime that will, there's some nice pastimes.
Yes, ma'am.
Very instructive pastime.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, please.
Ramanuja Sampradaya. Ramanuja Sampradaya emphasizes the importance of Vaishnav Seva and the importance of bhakti over gyan and karma. So Vaishnav Seva is a big thing in their thing. They like to serve the Vaishnavas. It's their main focus. And they're quite expert at it also. So there was one nephew of Ramanujacharya named Dasarati. Dasarati was well versed in the scriptures. He was known for his scriptural abilities, his knowledge. And one day, Ramanuja's niece, she was just newly married, a very young girl at the time. She came to her uncle, Ramanuja, and said, "My dear uncle, oh, I just got married and my mother-in-law is making me work so hard. I have to cut the wood, I have to build a fire, I have to cook, I have to go to the well and bring all the water. She's just very, forcefully making me do all of these things to serve her son, which is my new husband. And I'm feeling very tired. I can't do it. It's become very difficult." So Ramanuja said, "Just go back home and something will happen." So she left. Right after that, Dasarati came. And Dasarati said to Ramanuja, "I have a question based on the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Sarva Dharma Pariksajam Mamekam Saranam Vaja. Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayashyami Mashuchaha." Can you explain the meaning of that verse? Ramanujacharya said, "Actually, there's a situation where your cousin, my niece, she is just got recently married and her mother-in-law is making her do all kinds of hard work. So I think you should go to where she is and help her do the chores." So he was very obedient to Ramanuja, so he went and he was helping her. He was hauling the water from the well. He was gathering the wood for the fire. And it was making it easier for her to do her service for her husband. He was carrying it on. Now he's a great scholar, but now he's doing this menial service of just carrying wood and hauling water. So he's been doing it for a while. One day he wandered into the local town and there was a gathering of people who were gathered around this one scholar who was speaking about Shastra. And so so Dasarati stopped and he wanted to hear what he had to say. So he joins the crowd, he's listening, and he doesn't like anything the scholar is saying because he knows the scholar doesn't know what he's talking about. So he's indicating that by showing some bodily features, showing that he doesn't say anything. But the scholar picks up on it and says, "Oh, you think you know better than I am? Then let me hear your explanation." And Dasarati took the opportunity and he started to explain the same thing that the scholar was talking about, but he explained it in such a perfect and beautiful way that everyone in the crowd was amazed to hear it, including the scholar. And then the scholar said, "My God, that was wonderful. Who are you?" He said, "My name is Dasar." "Oh, you're Dasarati, the famous Dasarati? You just look like an ordinary worker. You're dressed in ordinary work clothes. I see you're just doing ordinary labor. Why?" He said, "This is the instructions of my spiritual master." So then he went back to Ramanujacharya, and Ramanujacharya says, "Now you understand that verse?" He said, "Yes." In other words, surrender means surrender, not that surrender with condition. In other words, he carried out the instructions, although it was different than what he was normally doing, but because it was the instructions of his spiritual master, who was actually his uncle. So he then, Ramanuja revealed to him in a practical way, what is the meaning of that verse? Surrender means you surrender. You don't dictate, well, I'll surrender in this way, I'll surrender in this way, I'll surrender in this way. Surrender means whatever you got, whatever you want for me to do, I am yours. That's surrender, complete surrender. So he taught that verse by using the example of Dasarati to teach it. And that's one beautiful story from. Oh, there's Koresh, who was a very great devotee of Ramanuja also, who's dedicated. You want to hear more?
Gama Mataji?
She's still there, or she disappeared, went to sleep?
Is there? I'm here, Guru Maharaj. Sorry, I had to go somewhere, so I just closed
You
it.
asked me.
I'm here. I'm still here, Guru Maharaj. You can, if you are okay, then you can speak. But
You can't do two things at once. You have to do one thing at a time.
no, it's just somebody came to see me. That's it.
Okay. So yeah. So there was Koresh. Koresh was a great devotee of the Lord. And there was one king called Kolatunga. He was really he was a kind of a tantric king, and he was a worshiper of Shiva. And Ramanuja was preaching worship of the Supreme Lord of Bhartaraj, or the manifestation of Krishna in the Vaikuntha realm. In other words, Vishnu worship, Narayana worship. Kolatunga didn't like that, and he wanted to destroy Ramanuja. So one of his ministers happened to be a former disciple of Ramanuja who left Ramanuja. Now he joined his Kolatunga. And he was talking about how Ramanuja is becoming so powerful, and people are following him, and now he's, Krishna worship or Vishnu worship is becoming more important and more all-pervading than Shiva worship. Kolatunga didn't like that at all. So he made a plot to destroy Ramanuja. So he said, we're going to have a debate, and we'll take our pundits, and we'll call Ramanuja for a debate to see who is more exalted, either Shiva or Vishnu. And if we win, then he'll have to submit to us and become a Shiva worshiper. And if he wins, then we'll kill him. So that was the plan. So now this Kolatunga didn't ever saw Ramanuja, but he just heard about him. So then the word got out to invite Ramanuja for this debate. Now it just so happened that this king, as Kolatunga, had an 8-year-old girl many years ago, who was his daughter, who was possessed by a ghost. And Ramanuja somehow came and relieved that girl of the ghost. So he did some service for the king. Now, when the word got back to Ramanuja, Koresh understood the whole thing and said, my dear Guru Maharaj, let me go in your place, because he's very vicious. He's going to do something horrible. So he changed his white robes for the saffron robes of Ramanuja, and he went as Ramanuja. But he was also greatly skilled in the knowledge of the Shastras. So he presented himself as Ramanuja, and there was a debate, and Koresh, representing Ramanuja, destroyed all of the other Pandits. And so the king became angry and said, arrest him and kill him. But then he remembered that this Ramanuja had saved his daughter. So he said, I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to just cause you to become blind. So he was with another person called Mahaman. Actually, what was his name? Something Nath. I can't remember. He was an elderly gentleman. So they blinded both of them and put them in the forest to leave them alone and die by themselves. But somehow the Koresh was able to find himself. Actually, somebody found him and brought him back to Ramanuja. And now he was blinded. So he was serving his Ramanuja without any eyes. So at one point, Ramanuja was thinking, I have to do something. So he said to Koresh, you go before Bhadaraj and you pray to Bhadaraj that you want your eyesight back. And so he was thinking, how can I do that? How can I ask the Lord for something on a personal level? I can't do that. But Ramanuja told him, you go, ask for your eyesight. So then he went and he came in front of the deity and he just sat there. He didn't say anything. And then Bhadaraj spoke to him. He said, you've come? Yes. Why? And then he wouldn't answer. So then he left without saying anything. And then Ramanuja asked, did you ask him? He said, Guru Maharaj, how can I ask him how can I ask the Lord for something personal? And Ramanuja is thinking, okay, now you go back and you again approach Bhadaraj and you say, I lost something that belongs to my spiritual master. Can you restore it for me? And so he went, he sat there. The Lord said, you're back? Yes. Yes, what is it? Well, I lost something that belongs to my spiritual master. What is that? My eyes. Oh, okay. And so the Lord restored his vision like that. He wouldn't ask for himself, but when Ramanuja tricked him and saying, your body belongs to me, therefore your eyes, I need your eyes for the service, for my service. And in that way, he was able to restore it. Koresh was a great soul. There's even temples in South India that honor Koresh also. He was a very great soul. And there's many, many wonderful stories about this life of Ramanuja. If you go to Sri Rangam there, I think it's Tirupati? I think, or Sri Rangam. There is the deity of, it's not a deity, it's actually Ramanuja. When he died, they put his body, encased it in resin, and left him and put him in the temple. And when you go and you see that form of Ramanuja, you know it's not a deity, it's him himself. It's so powerful. It's really amazing when you see that. So his body never deteriorated. They just took some resin, put it around his body, and they display him. And he's there still personally present in that form. Yeah. So I had a good fortune to spend some time with the Sri Sampradayas when we traveled there. Did a yatra in South India in that area. And they were very friendly towards us. And they even glorified Srila Prabhupada. They're very out of all of the sampradayas, they're the most favorable towards our sampradaya.
Yeah. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you. Can we not have a tour like that, Guru Maharaj? Yatra in the
We
south?
can get, yeah, I don't have the organizational ability that Radhanath Swami has, but if you can train all of the devotees for an organization, we can do it. You have to go ahead of time and set up everything. That means devotees have to leave their personal responsibilities and go and arrange for housing, arrange for prasadam, arrange for everything that we need. When Radha Swami does his yatra, they do that 6 to 8 months ahead of time.
Mm.
It's to make a yatra, it's not easy. It takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
have to go on site to make all the arrangements.
Mm.
You ready to leave London and go down there and start working?
I will try, definitely. I will get help from someone. Rako Prabhu is saying Ujjain devotees are doing some South Indian yatra. But yeah, no, definitely. I would love to try something. It'll be so nice.
Well, I'm doing another yatra in Farmington Hills coming up in the beginning of July, 4th of July, 5th, 6th, and 7th, 4 days in Farmington Hills. Free accommodations, free prasadam. Just come if you can come to America.
Oh, very well. I would love to.
We're gonna do Mayapur Yatra Part 2.
Amazing, amazing. How do we contact? How do I get the information, Guru Maharaj?
Radha Bhakti is putting it all together into a form document, and she's going to make it public to everyone. So just stand by and look for her communiques.
That'll be amazing.
We'll post it on the conference. Yeah.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Is there anybody who's there who's not on the conference who wants to get on the conference? You get all the information on the conference. Daria, are you on the conference?
No, I don't think so. Which
Rati Prita, are you on the conference?
Email. Do you get Mataji emails from?
no.
No. Okay.
Okay. So somebody maybe who's a good person to do a little canvassing and see which devotees are not on the conference and put them on the conference. You get regular updates from different things we're doing. You get statements about Srila Prabhupada, and there's other information that is, and you can also contribute to the conference by writing something spiritual, something devotional.
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah. Devotees can message me so that I can forward it to Radha Bhakti. She can add devotees who are not in the conference email.
Yeah, everybody should be on the conference. It's a good information source.
Yes, Maharaj. Okay.
Yeah, so I think today she sent me something as a prelude to what she's going to post. So it should be there very soon, within a day or so.
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah, devotees are asking me also, like, what's the plan for the July retreat so that everyone can plan their and book the flight tickets.
Yeah, arriving Thursday, July 3rd in the evening, the 4th, 5th, 6th. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's all holidays in America. And the 7th is also a holiday in America. So if you're coming from other countries, it's just a matter of getting there. That's all. And accommodations will be provided free. Prasadam is free. Many of you who went to Mayapur, New Mayapur, met Yugala Kishore. He's the temple president there. He's organizing this yatra. So. It's a very, very dynamic temple. Very dynamic. They're doing a 168-hour kirtan, started on Monday.
Yes, Maharaj.
168 straight hours of kirtan.
Yesterday was the temple anniversary. Yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do you have the site where you can get onto to what's happening?
They have a Facebook Live option, Gurmaj. They are doing.
Lasini Radha, can you help us get
Yeah.
on?
We saw some.
Yes.
It's so amazing.
Rasavalasni
Yes,
Mata.
Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Maharaj. Yes, we have Maharaj Facebook Live. So I will post on a group, Maharaj.
Yeah, I don't have, I like to get access too. I don't have it.
I will share with Srimati Mataji, ma'am.
Okay. Good. Okay, all glories to Sri Ramanujacharya ki jai.
Okay. Thank you.
Glory to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
All glories to the holy name of the Lord.
Oh, jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Parash.
Hare
Thank you so much,
Krishna.
lady.
Thank
See you all tomorrow again. I'll post the link in the WhatsApp group. Thank you so much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.